name is Dave. I'll read the book named James and the Giant Peach. I'll introduce the characters. James and Trollton, and Spider and Sponge, Old Green Grasshopper, Centipede, Miss Spider, Silver Flume, Earthworm, Ladybug. Here's a picture. 1. Until he was 4 years old, James Henry Trotter had a happy life. He lived peacefully with his mother and father in a beautiful house beside the sea. There were always plenty of other children for him to play with. There was a sandy beach for him to run about on, and the ocean to paddle in. It was perfect life for a small boy. Then, one day, James' mother and father went to London to do some shopping, and there a terrible thing happened. Both of them suddenly got eaten in full daylight. Mind you, and crowd on the street by an enormous, angry rhinoceros, which had escaped from the London Zoo. Now this, as you can well imagine, the rather nasty experiment for two such gentle parents. But in the long run, it was far nastier for James than it was for them. Their troubles were all over in a jiffy. There, they were dead and gone in 35 seconds flat. Poor James, on the other hand, was very much alive, and all at once he found himself alone and frightened in a vast and friendly world. The lovely house by the seaside had to be sold immediately, and the little boy, carrying nothing but a small suitcase containing a pair of pajamas and a toothbrush, was sent away to live with his two aunts. Their names are Sponge and Spiker, and I'm sorry to say that they were both really horrible people. They were selfish and lazy and cruel, and from the beginning they started beating poor James for almost no reason at all. Here's the picture. They never called him by his real name, but always referred to him, "You disgusting little beast," or "you filthy nudist," or "miserable creature," and they certainly never gave him any toys to play with or any pictures, books to look at. His room was bare as a prison cell. They lived in Sponge and Spiker, and now James as well, in a queer, ramshackle house on the top of a high hill in the south of England. The hill was so high that from almost anywhere in the garden, James could look down and see for miles and miles across a marvelous landscape of woods and fields on a very clear day. As he looked in the right direction, he could see a tiny gray dot far away on the horizon, which was the house that he used to live in his beloved mother and father. And just beyond that, he could see the old ocean itself, a long thin streak of blackish blue, like a line of ink beneath the rim of the sky. But James was never allowed to go on down off the top of that hill. Neither Sponge nor Spiker could ever be bothered to take him out himself, not even small walk to a picnic. And he certainly once permitted to go alone. The nasty little beast will only get in mischief if he goes out of the garden on skyward, they said, and terrible punishments for this. As being locked in cellar with 2 rats for a week, even as so much to dare climb over the fence. The garden, which covered the whole top of a hill, was large and desolate, and the only tree in the entire place, apartment for kelp of the dirty old little bushes of far around. There was an ancient peach that never gave any peaches. There was no swing, no seesaw, and no sand pitch, and no other children were never ever invited to come up the hill to play with poor James. Wait a minute. There wasn't so much as a cat around him to